y'all. Welcome back to Georgia Living. I'm Chris Evans.
I'm Céline Evans.
And it's good to be back after a little bit longer of a break than we were anticipating.
Technical difficulties.
Last week's episode, apparently my mic was not fully connected. So that whole episode was not... You couldn't understand it. It was one side of a conversation the whole time. I feel so bad for Rob, who came on and told us, by the way, mortgage rates, y'all, currently right around 6.5% if you're top tier credit. As of last week, that was his update. I talked a lot more about things going on.
Can we back up here? Because really, when you say technical difficulties, or
it's
when I
my
say...
fault. It's all my fault. I run the technical side of things.
No. So whenever something happens, like if my mom calls or if my dad calls you, and they're in their 70s, so they were born, 1950. Cell phones are a little bit new of an invention.
For them. Yeah, still relatively new.
So, when they call you and they say, hey, my phone's not charging, what's the first question you ask them? Is it
plugged in?
What happened to your mic?
God. Thanks for making me go through that mental obstacle course, only to get right back into me not having my mic plugged in. It was actually,
it was plugged into the wrong hole.
It was plugged into the wrong. Yeah.
That's really what it was.
We had some feedback at the beginning, and we were making sure that all the connections were good. The XLR cable got unplugged and then plugged into the wrong outlet.
So, honey, is it plugged in?
I can hear myself. Can you hear me? You don't have headphones.
I don't have headphones on.
It's plugged in.
I had to point that out because so many times you've asked, is it plugged in?
Tech support 101. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Check the back of the computer. Is it plugged into the wall?
All right. So, anyways, yes, we had a 2-week hiatus, one for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And the other one for plugging the mic into the wrong hole.
Yeah. It would have been a great conversation to share with the audience.
It would have been. We had a lot to talk about, too, didn't we?
Sorry.
So much of it. But that's okay. We can make up for it today.
Yes.
We've got a lot to talk about today, too.
Yeah, so let's kind of dive into what we've been doing with the family, and I think we can maybe start right after Thanksgiving, talk a little bit about what we did there, and then kind of...
Yeah.
Because we've been through it for the last couple of weeks.
Oh, my gosh. So much. And should I say it?
Well, so let's talk about Thanksgiving. It was great.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Incident-free.
Incident-free.
I loved it.
It was a lot of fun. It was hard having the kids home all week without a break.
But we didn't have to travel anywhere. That was nice.
It was nice. Last year you were in Japan with Scarlett for Girls' Day, and I was at the beach visiting Mom with the other two kids. Now Mom's here, and you're here.
I am here.
So we get to have everybody home for the holidays this year.
To be fair, that was my first trip back to Japan to see my family in 18 years. That's a long time. That's a generation.
It is.
And then, this time I took my child and we had curry for Thanksgiving dinner. That was very different. And then, Scarlett, the middle child that I was with, because the other two stayed at home with you, we usually take one at a time.
Yeah.
And, they have their own special trip.
It's a celebration at the age 7. So you go there at age 7 for girls. You have Girls' Day. You get done up.
It's just gorgeous beautiful photos. But you know what the girl ate for Thanksgiving dinner last year? Curry and what? It's the weirdest combination.
Fried chicken?
Natto.
Ugh.
Did you even know that?
No, I didn't. Thanks for that. That is my least favorite Japanese dish.
Okay, so it's like Japan's version of Marmite or Vegemite. Either you love it or you hate it.
I love Marmite.
Yeah, you do. But you're Irish, so.
Yeah.
So it's fermented soybeans, and it has a very different texture. And if you can see his face, that's the I don't like it camp.
Its nickname is called Stink Bean. And
I love it, though. That's the thing. I can't stand it.
And the worst experience I ever had with it is when your father made it at his house.
He was bored, I think, and then he made it from scratch, which
the
almost
smell,
is
I couldn't
never
get away
unheard
from
of. Or it's unheard of to actually try to make this yourself, because it's kind of like one of those things that you just go to the supermarket and buy, right?
Yeah.
Like who the heck tries to make their own hot dogs at home? You just go out and buy them, right?
I would try to make my own hot dogs.
You would? Okay, that was a bad example.
I try to make everything at home.
Well, she had natto and curry for Thanksgiving, so this was a very, very traditional Thanksgiving for us compared to last year.
Yeah, good to be back. I did the turkey, the stuffing.
And it came out so well.
We got into a whole argument this year of stuffing versus dressing.
We did.
I am in the stuffing camp. Selena's in the dressing camp.
And we had to Google this.
And I firmly believe I'm right, because you don't go and buy a box of dressing or pre-made, like, you don't buy dressing. They sell it as stuffing. The box says stuffing.
Yeah.
So I swear that I'm right by this.
But also
You'll never tell me
it's
otherwise.
supper, not dinner.
Supper, dinner, those are synonyms.
Okay.
So we got through the week. The kids got back to school. It was great. But then we just turned around and had we went from that high to a complete low, because we just had, gosh, how do I even say this?
I don't know. So one morning on Friday, we live on a cul-de-sac, so you have an odd angle of the neighborhood, right? Because it's a circle.
Yeah.
And from our angle, we can see some of our neighbors who our kids play with, because they have kids the same age.
Yeah.
And so we're getting ready for the day, and we look outside our window like we usually do to check on the weather and just make sure that we're dressing them appropriately. And we see a whole bunch of emergency vehicles at one of our neighbors' houses.
Yeah.
Where
Our kids' good friends, their parent passed away
they did.
unexpectedly.
But we didn't know it at the time.
No.
So her name is Kelly Ann Boyle Durham, and she went to Walton High School, class of 1997. That is a local high school that is very well known for excellent academics and very sought after in our neighborhood.
It's right by our office. Our office is right around the corner from Walton High School, so she is local. And it's really hard to process this, because this was the very first close death for our kids.
Yeah. It's also hard for us to process too, because she was 45.
Yeah.
So completely unexpected, and that brings me to the point of coping with death and having children, because this is their first experience. It's not ours, because we've lived a while and people have come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
But with them, it's their first. So it is shocking, when something unexpected happens like this, where she wasn't sick,
Yeah.
For a very long time. And this could go for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that, our method for dealing with our children is appropriate for everyone else. But there are a few tips that we could offer, because we just went through this and trying to break the news to them and trying to explain all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any of those things that you want to tell them that we've done?
So the way that we've handled it so far, and by all means, I am no licensed grief counselor.
No.
I am not experienced
We're
in this.
simply a neighbor that went through it.
But I'm a dad and I'm highly involved in my kids' lives. And when we had to tell them, I did do some research, right? I wanted to make sure I wasn't going into it, blindly.
That's a common parent fear of breaking your kids, right? And doing something wrong. But that's a good sign that you're a good parent, that you're worrying about what you do.
I hope so. Well,
yeah.
So one of the things that we did was we tailored the conversation differently to all of the kids. So when we broke it to all of them, we broke it to them all at once in very simple language that our youngest can understand, because she's almost 7. And we wanted it to be very clear, very definite, very finite, letting them know, hey, this is okay. This is a part of life. It's not easy. and it's okay to feel sad, and it's okay to ask questions. But then for our older son, James, who's 11, we talked a little bit more adult language, right? We talked about what happens next. We talked about answering his questions about his friends. And we talked about how to be there for the friend and how to bring it up and how to discuss it with them and how to be supportive friends. We talked about how their kids may be going through a hard time and may lash out or may have emotional reactions that seem unjustified. Mm-hmm. But to know that they're going through a very hard time and to be supportive and just say, hey, I get it. It's okay. Take a break. Come back a little later. And not to hold it against them or let that ruin relationships.
But that's, every person is different, even at 11 years old. So we're taking it one day at a time, but we do miss her sorely. And,
it's hard.
We'll never forget her.
And this is kind of our way of grieving. So, thank you for listening. In our show notes on selectrealty.com, we will put in some links for some professional resources, some community resources for dealing with grief.
We do have quite a bit around here. We have a few churches around here, synagogues around here. I believe we have some mosques as well that people can find some, counseling with
and then
in cases like this.
Counselors.
Yes, there are.
Yep.
So there's a wealth of support here in the East Cobb area. It's probably not a topic that a lot of people want to talk about.
Definitely
because who likes death? Nobody does, right? But it is definitely a part of life, and unfortunately, it is the holiday season, which makes it even tougher.
I think it makes it more poignant.
It does, but I think that sometimes it makes it a little bit tougher too because of the schedules, and then trying to put on a happy face at gatherings and joyful events that occur around this time. So anyways, enough about that.
Yes.
We do miss her, but let's talk about real estate.
So the real estate market update, which we wanted to get into last week.
We did record actually.
So the median sales price for the Metro Atlanta area is up 3.6% year over year. This is for the month of November. New listings also coming to the market up 4.2% over last year. Number of homes for sale up 42.9%. So we've got almost double almost 50% more inventory this year than we did last year. Last year, we had more inventory than the year before. So the number of homes to choose from going up. Closed sales, though, down 11.5%. Mm-hmm. Pending sales down 13.9%. Days on market, the median days on market up 52.9%. So this story is telling us that prices are going up. They're continuing to rise as homes sell. But it's telling us that a lot of homes aren't selling.
So in summary, what does that tell you?
Yeah, we've got part of it's going to be cyclical. We're in the slow season. You always get more inventory here. People are focused on buying when they want to move. They don't want to move around the holidays. But the cost of home ownership is impacting the market.
Yes.
So we're going to have... We have the inventory to choose from. So if you've been on the sidelines saying there's nothing to choose from, that's not true anymore. Homes are here. But we're not getting enough buyers through the doors to get these homes sold. We're up to about a 4-month supply of inventory, which is touching into buyer's market territory.
So if you're a buyer, this is actually good news for you if you don't have a home to sell.
Yes, because if you have a home to sell, it's going to be a hard time to sell it. But, so that's the market as a whole for Metro Atlanta. This is, I'm just going to break down East Cobb. And this is 30062 East Cobb. So this is kind of central East Cobb. You have East Cobb, which is 68. You have 66, which is kind of western East Cobb. 62 is right smack dab in the middle. And the median sales price also up, not as high as the whole market. We're at 2.6%. Our median sales price in East Cobb is $502,000. New listings, 1.6% increase. So not as much. There's only 64 homes on the market, new listings in November for this zip code. Pending sales, 30, which is down 43% year over year. Closed sales, down 16% year over year. Median days on market, not as much as the Atlanta market, which
26 days.
The Atlanta market was 26 days. We're 20 days, but that's up 81.8%. Month supply of inventory is 2, which is beating the market as a whole, but that's still up 42.9% year over year. And the percentage of the original list price. So I list a property for the price I say it needs to list for. What did it end up selling for? And that is now 98.5%, which is down 0.6% year over year. Showings are down 3.2% per listing. Shows to pending are down to 9.5, which is a 17% reduction. All of this to say, real estate is hyper-local. So it's important to understand that, the Jonesboro market is not the Conyers market, is not the Decatur market, is not the East Cobb market.
Absolutely not.
They're all different.
This East Cobb, the numbers that you just stated really are consistent with what I'm seeing around our area as well.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, think about it, 3.2% less showings per listing. I mean, what does that mean, though? You're still having 6 showings per listing, right?
3.2. So we're down 3.2% on the number of showings, which is telling me we have less buyers in the market.
Well, right. I mean, the general macro trend, right? But I'm just saying, is it negligible, right, for the showings part? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just so tiny for that.
Well, so the showings per listing and the showings to pending stats that we come out with, I use these to determine what kind of exposure do we need to get in a property.
Sure.
In order to get it under contract.
Sure.
And if we're getting 6 showings per listing on average, but we need 9.5 to go showings to pending, most homes are not going under contract, at least not fast, because we're not getting enough traffic through the doors.
Right.
But outside of the market, which it's still going, there are plenty of homes to choose from. People are still buying or selling. As a matter of fact, we just got a home under contract yesterday. We have 2 closings coming up. Actually, 3 closings now in December, as long as this one makes it through. So it's a very busy time of year for us. And historically, it hasn't been. So what that's telling us is the market has taken enough of a hit economically that we're just going to get consistent flow of transactions dripping through. I kind of look at it as like a coffee filter, right? A coffee drip. You've got if you have too many grinds in the coffee with too many homes on the market, that's where we are right now. We're just not getting enough water through.
Most of these deals that we do are not because they want to move, though.
Yeah, no.
Almost all of them are because of some sort of life circumstance where they have to move, or they really feel like they are compelled to move.
We have 2 cases of people relocating from out of the country into the country, and then we have 1 case of somebody who sold previously with us using Simply List, actually, and now they're buying through us on the full service side, and that they've been renting for a while, so they don't have a property to sell, but they were looking for a very specific property. So we've been looking for a while for them. And it just happened that we found it.
Yeah.
So we do have 3 new rental listings, 1 new for sale listing. So if you're in the market, 212 Madison is both for rent and or for sale.
In Ackworth.
They will consider that. That's in Ackworth. That is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath end unit townhouse Currently asking $18.50 a month for rent, and that's in the Centennial Lakes community. We have 4303 Inlet Drive in Marietta. This is over towards kind of between Lassiter and Kell High School off of Shallowford, over by the elementary and middle schools there. And this one is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch, contemporary ranch. It has one of the sunken floor levels, but this one is on the market for $2,300 a month, partially furnished. And coming soon, we have 2652 Rolling View Drive in Smyrna, which is another rental that I think they're finishing up the turnkey on it right now. Mm-hmm. That property, matter of fact, we're owner agents on that. So they are finishing up putting some new flooring in the basement.
All three of these are excellent in location, though, because 212 Madison Ackworth, they're right by
75.
Okay, I know Cabela's got bought out.
It's now Bass Pro.
Bass Pro.
Yep.
But there's
still my favorite place in the world to shop.
There's a very large Bass Pro shop there, and it is very easy to get there from there.
It's super close to the highway.
And it's right by the highway. This would be really great for somebody who doesn't mind that townhouse, likes the low maintenance lifestyle, but really easy access. And then you've got Inlet, which is East Cobb. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got so many amenities here.
Hard to find a ranch in East Cobb for rent.
Exactly. Now, I don't know if this is Lassiter or Kell district.
I don't recall right off
I don't recall either, but it's, you see, Kell was a high school that eased some pressure off of Lassiter.
Lassiter and North Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
It pulled from both.
Right. So it might be on the border. I'm not so sure. I'd have to look it up. And then 2652 Rolling View. That is in Smyrna. And if you haven't been here in a very long time, I'm talking about 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. We have a new baseball area.
Yeah, so that it's about a mile south of the Battery on Spring Road.
Yes.
Very great location. That one is asking $2,400 a month. We're just waiting for the crews to finish up with the flooring, and then we can start doing the tours. But it is actively listed. Yeah,
it'd be great for somebody who loves baseball or really works around there, because there's a huge commercial district around that house, and it'd be an easy commute, because in Atlanta, really, if you are more than 15, 20 minutes away from your home, you're going to be battling the unknowns of traffic every day, and you're going to be glued to those traffic reports. You never know what's going to come up on our streets.
My favorite part about Rolling View Drive and that rental is it is a very quiet, established neighborhood.
You don't have a lot of those.
Not close to the Battery, you don't, because everything they're putting up is $600,000 townhomes.
Brand new.
Or house farms, because the cost of land has gone up so much there.
Yeah.
So
Are you talking about the townhomes right behind Argyle Elementary?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So those are starting in the 60s.
That's the ones off of Spring Road. Argyle Elementary. I believe my cousin went there. There's a big area of land behind that, and they completely raised it and are now doing the townhome community. I believe they're maybe 70% done with it. They still have some, they have to break ground a little bit more to go.
Yeah, they're still going to be going. I think they have the first round of townhomes completed, and they're starting to sell and move some folks in. But we saw the sign out there the other day, and they're starting in the 600s. When we run the comps, you can find a newer townhome in the area, but it's like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath for like $2,000 a month. Whereas what our house is, it's a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath, and for $2,400 a month. It also has a garage. And it's in an established neighborhood with a yard.
But also at the same time, some people might want that low maintenance lifestyle.
A lot of people do. It's kind of city living is what's
it is. It's becoming like that. But, if you are wanting that traditional home, that's great. I mean, the one word that I can describe in this season of real estate is persistence.
Yes.
What do you feel about that? The persistence of being a buyer or seller, what can you say about that?
Look, in my background as a financial advisor, we did something called dollar cost averaging, right? You buy when the market is good, you buy when the market is bad. For folks, there's a lot of people on the sidelines right now that are in a financial no man's land because they cannot go from a 2.5 or a sub 2% mortgage to a 6. Like, they just can't do that. It's not in their financial constraints. But for those individuals who are still renting or they are not homeowners, gosh, I mean, the inventory is there. You can go and negotiate better because there's more homes to choose from right now. Yeah, the rate, it stinks. But you know what? Our first home, 6.25, 2008. And we made the worst timing ever because we went under contract in like May or June of 2008. I'm interning at Merrill Lynch. Guess what happens during my internship is the crash hits. And we're still under contract. We close in like late July of 2008. And then we watch the value of our first home tank. We lost like 70% of the value in that house.
But was that a bad decision?
Absolutely not. It was the best decision of our lives because we had planned. We knew what our plan was going to be with that house. We knew that we were never going to sell real estate. We were only going to keep it in the portfolio. So we bought. And then when we were ready to leave, we rented it out. And that's how we started it. And the whole story is right here in From the Ground Up. So if you want to listen to that, you go ahead and get it on Audible, or you can find it on Amazon or wherever.
All right, there is a difference, though, because we bought that townhouse right before I started my veterinary program. Now, veterinary school is 4 years guaranteed, and so we knew that we were going to be there for at least 4 years, as long as I didn't do poorly in my school and get kicked out because of my grades.
Never would happen from you.
No, I graduated. But a lot of people don't have that 4-year plan, guaranteed plan, because sometimes they're just only looking a season activity during this holiday season, because it's always going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to have a stronger start in January.
Totally.
So we've been actively working on bringing new listings to the market for the new year as well. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, it's nothing that we can actually say because
no.
The listings are not live yet, so we can't advertise the properties. But
some of the ideas that we have for those listings that are coming up.
Yeah, we're working on a property between $1 and $1.5 million in East Cobb right now, and that will be coming on the market. And then we're also in talks with gentlemen in the Milton area on about a little over 4 acres and a 3,000 square foot house within walking distance to downtown the Crabapple area. So we're working on bringing those to the market towards the start of the new year into this spring. We also have a condo that we're working on bringing to market. That's going to be in the Martin's Landing area, which is Roswell. If you're not familiar with it, it's very close to one side of Martin's Landing comes out on Holcomb Bridge. The other side is over by the river at the Chattahoochee.
I could see someone, who wants that low maintenance lifestyle working there.
Oh, great.
Living there.
Yeah. And that condo, actually, I got to follow up with him this week. That might be coming to the market before the holidays. So we'll see. Just depends on the timing and how much he's able to get done as he's getting it ready to be sold. So yeah, we're active and we are busy, y'all. There's lots of changes with NAR. We're gonna have new contracts. We just got those forms out, by the way. So I am now educating myself on the new changes to the GAR contracts. So in January, if you're working with a realtor right now, just give them a little bit of grace, because this contract package update is going to be massive for us to figure out how all of these new changes are implementing for the 2025 year. We've had some changes that went in place middle of this year with that big NAR lawsuit. But now we're going to be seeing what needed to change over the first 6 months, implementing for the next 12.
if you haven't done a deal in the past 10 months, you're behind.
It is.
Wow.
It is. It's a steep learning curve right now.
Yes.
And it's not just a steep learning curve if you haven't done a deal. It's a steep learning curve for all of us. And I'm very fortunate. I'm glad that you have your broker's license. I'm fortunate that I am a broker, principal broker, because there's a lot of agents that we're working with and they're not filling out the forms right.
Oh, that can mean a complete mistake.
Oh, my God. We had an agent give us an offer, and we had to go back and say, look, we're going to counter this because the way you wrote this, you're not getting paid by anybody. Like, you're out of the deal.
That was very nice of you.
Well, we don't want...
Ill will.
It was contractual in us paying a co-op broker.
Sure.
Two is... you get into that situation, and yeah, it would be their own fault, but at the same time, when it's that obvious, it's going to tank a deal.
Yeah.
Because if the buyer doesn't have the money to pay the commission, the buyer's going to end up in a lawsuit. The deal's going to fall south in due diligence.
You have a lot to say about this, don't you?
I could talk forever, but...
I want to talk about Christmas trees.
I do too, because after all this riling up, I think I'm in the mood for a little seasonality here.
So there's a Christmas tree recycling program. And so what do you do with your tree, right?
Yeah.
Where do you take it? Because we're all in East Cobb here. I mean... yeah, sure, we have some houses with woods, but they're owned by people. You can't just go and dump it,
you mean
right?
Don't dump trash on your neighbor's property? Yeah, that's a good rule to live by.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. because this recycling program is wonderful. You can actually drop off those used Christmas trees. There are also pickup services. So the details for the Marietta and Cobb County residents on how to recycle these are on the Christmas tree recycling. We'll put up a link on our website and on the show notes. But you really don't have to, stress over this. I believe even Home Depot does this as well.
So there's two programs. One is through the city of Marietta. One is through the county of Marietta.
Cobb.
Cobb County. One's city level, one's county level.
You're making new counties here.
I am, yep. So the interesting thing is that with the county level, there's like 7 or 8 Home Depots throughout Cobb County. You could just drop your Christmas tree off after the holiday. What I love about that is the trees get repurposed. So some of them become habitat for our fish and our wildlife in Allatoona Lake and Lake Ackworth.
They're celebrating Christmas all year long.
Yeah, so the DNR
Underwater.
uses some of these. It's funny because we went fishing in Allatoona a few years ago, and I just looked down, and there were like 5 Christmas trees down there.
I think the water level was really low.
It was.
Yeah.
And they were put down there for habitat.
Yes.
Other uses include all of them being chipped and used as mulch throughout Cobb County for beautification projects. And if you go on the link that we'll post, there's contact information. You can reach out if you want free mulch. So
be careful with that, though.
Yeah, food for thought. Keep it at least 10 feet away from your house foundation because trees come with bugs that are not native to your house. Mm-hmm. So just keep that in mind.
I believe, also if you're a one to plan, like say, okay, I want this delivery of tree mulch, right? And then you get it. And then you get busy with life and you leave the pile for a year and a half. And then you get yellow jackets in it.
Oh, you're talking about when I did this, yeah. Because our neighbors did it too.
Yeah, our neighbors did.
But yeah, you can, don't leave it. It will become territory.
Yellow jacket habitat.
Or it might have come with the yellow jackets.
You never know. But hey, before you get rid of that tree, there's actually a scavenger hunt that you can do. It's called the Marietta Tree Keeper Scavenger Hunt and Tree Planting Event. It is coming up in 4 days, and it is on December 14th at a very, very early 8:30 a.m., but it is on Saturday. It is at the City of Marietta Maintenance Building near Lewis Park, specifically 434 Sessions Street in Marietta, Georgia. And it's a free, family-friendly event that combines a fun scavenger hunt with tree planting from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. There is more information on the tree planting on our website and the link that we post. So I've actually never done that before. I wonder what they're going to scavenger hunt.
I don't know. Hopefully they'll be able to see some pretty cool things around the area, though. Mm-hmm. So we've also got a little bit more on the holiday spotlight with everything focused on the holidays right now. We're recording this on December 10th, so it is... we're right around the corner.
And I am not done with Christmas shopping.
No, me neither.
Okay, so in college... He's going to laugh because I had my Christmas shopping done before Halloween.
We had the Christmas cards filled out, labeled, postage stamp, done before Thanksgiving, and on Black Friday you would just put them in the mail.
Now I have 3 kids. Not happening.
No.
So to give you guys some ideas of gifts that you can give that are local to Georgia, we looked up a few of these Atlanta connected cookbooks that might be perfect for your loved one.
Yeah, there was an article out in one of our publications here locally, and if you're looking for a gift to give to somebody who likes to cook, these are a handful of cookbooks that are tied to Atlanta. So there's one, Baking in the American South by Ann Byrne. This is perfect for baking. When Southern Women Cook, I Eat. That's a really bad joke. The name of the book is When Southern Women Cook, and that's by Morgan Bowling. This is a history-filled appreciation of Southern women's culinary impact.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Still We Rise by Erica Council, celebration of the Southern biscuit and Black women's contributions to Southern cuisine. That sounds delicious.
Oh, that's a clever title there.
Yep, I love biscuits. Roots, Heart, and Soul by Todd Richards, global exploration of Afro cuisine. And Bon Appetit, y'all, by Virginia Willis, a revamped classic blending of traditional Southern cooking with modern updates. So we'll put a link to this article where you can find all of these cookbooks and more online if you're looking for the last-minute gift.
So these are all newer cookbooks. Now, we're not talking about the classic Atlantic cuisine, like Mrs. Wilkes. This is not Atlanta. I'm sorry. This is Savannah. Yeah. But like Mrs. Wilkes's cookbook. Paula Deen, her predecessor, I guess, if you can call her a predecessor. And then you have like Mary Mac's Tea Room here in Atlanta. They have their own cookbook as well, and you have a few other local favorites that have cookbooks too. I believe the Flying Biscuit has one. Yep. Other places as well. So these are just newer publications. Of course, we're not discounting the tried and true methods as well, which we love. Yep.
And, in the season of everything holiday, this past weekend, Céline and I were out after church with the kids, and we got a chance to stop by the Avenue, which is the perfect place for some
the East Cobb Avenue, not the West. There are two of them.
We left church, we stopped by Warby Parker. Great new location in the East Cobb Avenue where you can go and try on all their glasses. I'm a huge Warby Parker fan. If you're watching on YouTube, these are in their second year and they're fantastic. And the kids got to come with us.
I love their business model because even on their lens wipes or the lens cloths, they have their company history. And it's founded upon having affordable glasses and cutting out that middleman that raises that. So they're affordable. It's $100-something and $150, and you can even get prescription sunglasses. I believe your mother got 2 pairs at 15% off, and she got reading glasses and...
She got readers and she got a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, for under $300. And you know what? We could all save a little bit of money this year. And really, they've been around over 10 years, I want to say.
Yeah, I want to say they came out shortly after graduation, maybe around the 2015 mark.
It seems like that.
But the great thing about this company is in the glasses world, there's only a handful of companies that kind of own all of the brands. Warby Parker is a small player in that game, and the fact that they're taking on these companies that own Ray-Ban and Costa for a fraction of that price and putting out a quality product with great customer support is awesome.
Thank you. I mean, they're a chain. They're not Atlanta-based, but thank you so much, because the other location was Howell Mill Road, and that was a little bit of a trek for us because it's so it still takes us about a half an hour to get there. But enough about Warby Parker. Yeah. There's a lot more that we explored at the East Cobb Avenue. Oh, yeah. After that, we went to lunch and then did a little shopping. But the lunch was at Super Chicks, and they're a little bit in the corner towards the back, and it's small in the front. But when you go in the restaurant itself, it goes really far back. So it's more of like a row house shape, I want to say. I got the deluxe chicken sandwich, and I don't want to say this. I really don't, because I love Georgia, but it's competing with the Chick-fil-A Deluxe. I have to say that. It's a filet that was grilled with pickles, garlic aioli, lettuce, and tomato. And it was fresh, and it was crunchy, and it was delicious.
Yeah, I got their chicken parm, which Mom got too. It was so good.
And did not look healthy.
No, it wasn't. Well, I mean, no, it wasn't healthy.
No.
But I could have got it healthier. They do serve a grilled option.
I think they serve anything grilled.
Yeah.
Or fried, but
grilled or breaded is what they the menu states. And the kids got kids meals so that they would get it with the custard. And everybody had a great time. The food was awesome. This restaurant recently opened, so it's still advertising as now open.
Right.
And it was packed. There were a ton of people in there. The line was a little long. We got lucky because right after we ordered, a bunch of people walked in.
Oh, it was the lunch rush.
Yeah, it was. But we highly recommend it. I'll be going back.
My favorite part was what you found in the restrooms.
Oh, that wasn't in the restroom.
No?
It was right to the left of the counter where they're preparing. You can actually watch them make the food there. And I saw a chicken with a halo. So immediately my kids point out, is it dead because we just ate it? And I'm like, yep. Oh, that was fun.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think I snapped a photo of it. If I can, I'll put it up on the website.
Oh, their French fries were really good too.
The fries were good. They were hand cut. It was a solid place. Great sit down.
I hate to say this, but the French fries were better than the In-N-Out shoelace French fries, because they were on the thinner side.
I'll probably get a lot of flack from anybody West Coast, but I'm not a big In-N-Out fan.
No?
Nah.
You don't like it animal style?
I mean, it's good, but I don't think it's worth the hype that people are throwing up.
That's because they aren't hungover. Anyway, no, that's what they go there for. It's hangover food, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe because every time I've eaten it, I have not been hungover. So maybe I need to eat it while hungover. I don't drink like that anymore.
No,
I don't like that.
We're too old for that.
Yeah. But wine does it for me. Maybe I'll have a couple of glasses of wine because I don't have to drink a lot.
We don't have In-N-Out burger here.
No, we don't.
No. We have Shake Shack.
So then we explored a little bit more. The girls had a paradise of a time because we took them to Sephora and Lulu and let them walk through and kind of see all the stuff.
It is packed.
Our girls are not into toys, but they are into that stuff. So
you mean Sephora?
Yeah, have sympathy for my wallet, y'all, please.
They kept on, picking out these tiny little things, and I said, "Honey, that's $45," and they just look at it like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is very good for appreciating what you have." And then we went to Lululemon.
Yep. And just a great time walking around. It had some decent weather. And now we are in the home stretch for Christmas.
Oh, but you know what's opening up right there on that side of the avenue?
Oh, we've got a couple of new restaurants coming in.
No. There's some restaurants too, but there are towels. This seems mundane.
Branch.
It seems absolutely mundane, y'all. I mean, this Obviously, you don't want to talk about towels, but I do, because they are life-changing. These towels, I feel completely dry after using it. It was amazing. It's called Bowl and Branch, and you found that before they even came over, because they're not open yet. They're hiring right now.
Yeah, as our kids were destroying stuff, I decided we're going to get some towels for us and then give them the old ones that we got when we were married. So I came across them, ordered a few. We got the bath sheets, which are huge.
Yeah.
And they're awesome. We love them. And they hold up really well.
They do.
It's been probably 2 or 3 years, and they look practically new.
Yes.
So we'll definitely be getting more of those,
Good
especially
quality.
when this place opens. But yeah, very high quality. You pay the price to go with it, but they will last you. This is definitely a cry once, buy once.
That's the last thing I want to do is take a shower and then not feel dry.
Yeah.
Because you can't get dry.
Or you start dripping across the floor and you damage the hardwoods.
Yeah.
Not cool to me either.
But the restaurants that are coming to the Avenue, I'm super excited about them. There is one called
Julia.
Julia. Yeah, I was going to say Cucina, but it's Julia. I'm sorry. And that...
It is a cozy Italian bakery where tradition blends with our chic, rural-inspired setting. Only the best natural ingredients are used to craft delicious, healthy treats. The open concept lets you watch the magic happen, blending transparency and tradition. This is a Italian bakery. So looks like the image that they have there.
It looks like a French bakery, Italian style.
We've got espresso and croissant there, and that looks delicious. I'm getting hungry. Maybe we need to go to the Avenue today. And then there's another Italian eatery coming in. Where is that? That is... Oh, wait, we got Luga. Luga's an Italian eatery coming in 2025. From brothers Ben and Seth Juca. And the restaurant promises a blend of casual elegance and a unique culinary experience with every detail reflecting the authenticity of Italian cuisine.
So you can go to the cafe first, and then you can go to Luga after to have lunch, and you have this beautiful Italian date.
Exactly. But then there's more coming. We have Tenku Sushi Elevation, which is coming 2025. Innovative Japanese cuisine reimagined under a modern gastronomic lens surrounded by sober and elegant decor. Japanese architecture and artwork. Hostess's ambiance in a casual and relaxing lounge orchestrates a moment to remember. So.
It looks very different.
It does. This looks like, from the photo, this looks like something we would see in Sandy Springs or Buford Highway, and I'm very, 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 very excited to have this right around the corner.
It's not traditional by any means.
No.
I mean, this looks like a hybrid. If you look at the photos, it looks like hybrid sushi food, but it looks good.
Yeah, it's like a Japanese gastropub is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And this, I want to eat all of it. All of it. So there's a lot to happen, and there's actually one in Woodstock.
Is there?
Yeah, there's one in Woodstock right now off of Main Street. So maybe we'll have to go up and check it out. But we're definitely going to be going to this one once it opens at the Avenue.
Well, thank you for listening to today's podcast. We went from really extremes, from lows to highs to all over the place. But, 'tis the season. That's kind of what we do, and that's life as well, because you never know what's going to happen, right? But you can subscribe to our podcast, and they are located where?
So you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and or anywhere you get your podcasts. We syndicate. So love to. If you get a chance, please like and subscribe on YouTube. You can get to everything from selectrealty.com. If you go there, it's SELLECT, realty.com.
We hope you have a great holiday and a little bit stress-free and get your shopping done, because it is crowded at East Cobb Avenue.
Yeah, it is. So thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.